this is Dodger, and you are watching my Captain America review. America! So again, the way that I set up these reviews is I will give you a very quick summary, and then I will talk about the design, I'll talk about the actors and the writing and all that, and then I will give you a spoiler alert, and I will delve a little bit deeper into the plot. So at the spoiler alert part, you can choose to stop watching if you want, or you can continue watching, but I won't guarantee that I won't spoil some stuff for you. So, summary. Captain America, it's an origin story for Steve Rogers, and he's the small guy with the big heart who wants to be in the army during World War II and defend his country alongside of the more able-bodied men who are on the front lines. He's given a chance to fight by taking part in an experiment designed to create a super soldier, and so our story begins. The design. Okay, so the setting. For those of you who are bad at history, it takes place during World War II, which is in the 1940s, started in 1939 and continued into the mid-1940s. The color palette and the really period-specific design was really, really well done. For those of you who have watched my reviews before, I am a stickler about costume design and set design, both of which I thought were really well done. They definitely wanted to make sure that you were transported back and that you felt the mood of the community that was at home during the war. The setting, the music, the costumes, all of it, it had this really muted tone to it that gave kind of a somber feeling, but then it was juxtaposed really nicely with the moments that had, like, once the Captain America costume came into play, like, it really went against the color palette in a good way. The effects were really nice, nothing too overly flashy, and it all kind of melded together. I don't know how they made Chris Evans super tiny for, like, the first quarter of the movie, but I'm gonna look it up because it was, like, seamless. It was so crazy. He was miniature. He was like my size. My mind was blown when I first saw the trailer, and then seeing how long they had him kind of small like that within the storyline, I was like, dude, like, you forget that he's not that size. The music, again, it set the mood. It felt right within the setting and the time period. It was all really, really well done. It didn't feel disjointed at all. And Red Skull's makeup, so good. For the acting, writing, dialogue, all of that, they were able to do so much cool stuff because it's still set in the Marvel Avengers movieverse, right? So you got to see things within the past of that same universe in Iron Man and Thor and all of these movies, and it's just, oh, it was so exciting. The casting was so perfect. There are no words. There are words. I'll tell you the words, but it was so nice because nobody stuck out as being a better or worse actor than anybody else. Chris Evans getting to play a role with a lot of just like humility and eagerness, we never get to see that. Hugo Weaving getting to be crazy again. The dialogue was really natural, nothing stood out. There wasn't that awkward moment where you were like, man, that movie was great, but there was that one line that just felt super weird and I wasn't sure what to do with it. That never happened, which was so nice. The progression of the story just felt very smooth, and I was not expecting that because this is a long movie, so I was impressed. Okay, this is your warning. This is your spoiler alert. If you would like to leave now and possibly not get spoiled on things, go ahead, run off into the sunset, but if you would like to stay with me, if you've already seen the movie, or if you don't care if you get spoiled on things, feel free to continue joining me. Okay, so the expanded storyline is that there's little Steve, and he wants so badly to be in the army because he feels like he's not pulling his own weight, but he keeps trying to get in, and based on medical conditions, he keeps getting rejected. He gets rejected 5 times in a row by the time the movie starts. His best friend Bucky goes off to war, and so he tries one more time to get in, and he gets noticed by a doctor named Abraham Erskine. Erskine sees a lot of potential in him, not based on his physical attributes, obviously, but based on his personality and his outlook on life, and also just the fact that he's very smart. He's given the opportunity to compete against some other guys and be experimented on to become a super soldier, and so our story begins when some events that happen within the movie ensure that they can make no more of these super soldiers after Steve. So like I said, the storyline progressed really well. They had quite a bit of time at the beginning that I wasn't expecting of him in that smaller state, where you got to really empathize with him before he got all like roided out. There was one scene in the movie that when I walked away from it, I went, why did that exist? And it was a scene early on where Schmidt's character, the Red Skull's character, is being kind of explained, and they have this really awkward, like, green screen montage that happens. The thing that I think I loved most about this movie, and I don't think that I'm spoiling anything by saying this, but Hollywood loves drama, right? So I was really expecting there to be a time when Steve was written in a way that totally betrayed his character, because he's a very honest, good, brave person, right? But there's so many movies that have this strange off-branch that has to do with like being drunk on power and just completely betraying who you are. And Steve never has that. He was written very well. I think the only character that I wanted more of and didn't really get was Peggy Carter. Now, she shows up a lot, she's involved in everything, but you never really, like, I walked away not really caring about her at all. And I don't know why that is, but everybody else that I was with felt the same way. So, I don't know, she was so awesome, but it felt like there was a weird disconnect. There wasn't a whole lot there. Oh, and Tony Stark's dad is in this movie, which I thought was so awesome. Anyway, that is my review of Captain America. I loved this movie. Not everybody that I went to see it with loved it as much as I did, but I thought that it was really well done. I thought it was smooth, it progressed really well, and the acting was great. I just overall really liked it. Those of you who really wanted me to do a review on Green Lantern, I skipped it because I missed the midnight show, and by the next day everybody was already grumbling about how terrible it was and I couldn't make myself go. Anyway, I hope that you guys have a great day. If there is a movie coming up that you think I should take a crack at reviewing, you should go ahead and tell me. Also, if you saw the movie, let me know what you thought of it, and try not to spoil in the comments, and try not to ruin what happens after the credits, because I feel like everybody should experience that on their own. My experience personally was making this face. I literally did that. Anyway, alright, have a great day, you guys. Mwah! Dear guys who sat behind me at Captain America, I know that you thought it was really funny to play the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 music every time there was a battle sequence, and I know you thought it was super funny when you said Mr. Anderson after all of Hugo Weaving's lines. You're really lucky I didn't punch you in the junk, and honestly, if I ever see you again, I'll probably nerd rage and kill you. Love, Dodge.